Oh, sir. Thank you.
The most respected Vice Chancellor, Horticulture University, Bagalkot, and respected Principal, Horticulture College, Muniraba, and all other dignitaries, and it plays a very important role in everybody's lives, and it transforms him to be a complete man. And let us start with this chapter with an introduction to the life of a primitive man. And was gathering natural grown vegetarian food like corns, fruits, tuber, and potatoes. Along with that, he was erecting, he needs to erect his tents, collecting of fuel woods for his activities, for him and his family. He used to undergo a wonderful hard work again. For all those, he needs to develop his muscular strength, cardiorespiratory efficiency, and physical qualities such as running, jumping, throwing, and hurling. In case of emergencies, he has to run fast and he has to run for long distance. They were all his part of life for his safety and survival. So he was one amongst the nature. That was his wonderful behavior, because he take himself as one of the cosmics, this great cosmics. There was no stress for him, no strain for him, no mental worries, no pressure as today we are suffering, and no anxiety on him of any kind. He was physically fit, mentally healthy in the most natural way. In those days, he was called as outdoor animal. Because he used to be outside the door for all his activities. The other activities of the home were taken care of his wife or any other member of the family. They were also very busy in collecting fuels and other things. They were also very strong. Women also very strong. They are also outdoor animals sometimes. As modernization, industrialization developed gradually and heavily, which brought a great impact on man's life and transformed a disastrous life for him. Consequently, man gradually rely and depend upon machines and become physically inactive, including cooking. He was depend upon for machines today. So he has become he has become a machine and a robot also. He was entirely depend upon machines, machines, information, technology have made employees and other employees completely physically inactive. Many people in the modern world running behind the money, wealth, and luxury, neglecting his physical and mental health. He is not satisfied with the things available with him. This greedy nature of today's man has suffering from hazards in his life. Even some parents, unfortunately, carrying their babies in the push cart instead of taking them on the chest to give the warmth of the mother, which is most needed to the child, and he has lost the love and affection of the mother, which was very needed for the child's point of view because he is growing and developing. Most of the time, the man sitting in the place for hours together in his profession as well as in home, idly and sedentarily. Not only children, all the members of the family are involved in mobile or in some other modern technologies, wasting their time and pushing stress, unwanted stress into their mind. Especially children are busy in academics, school works, works. He is busy in the school as well as he is busy in the home. So he that in the unfortunately in that age, which was supposed to be a joyful, he is suffering stress and strain. Also, they have lost their childhood. Very unfortunate thing is they have lost their childhood, which was supposed to be joyful for their growth and development. All these above said unhealthy lifestyle of almost all people today's today has made a tremendous impact on the effect of man's life, such as obesity, eating unnecessarily without need, and that leads to obesity and overweight. That that is definitely resulting in diabetic and mellitus and impairment of blood pressure, which is a fatal in nature. In all the modern life, modern man is living in mechanical work, and he himself has become a machine. He lost human relations because of joint family which have been converted into nucleus family, which includes only mother, father, and a son, daughter. Unfortunately, parents most of the time not available for the children. Children so Children so are also lost their family life and become part of mobile, a TV instead of being with mother and father with a cardial relations. They are all lost. This type of lifestyle leads to muscle loss, poor blood circulation and blood function. Brain gets less amount of oxygen and man becomes a victim of brain disorders. Mental disorders like depressions, tension, stress, strain, and horrible disease like anxiety. All these mental disorders leads to physical problems, which is called psychosomatic disorders. Number of suicide cases throughout the world have been registered due to this wonderful, most dangerous thing like uh, mental worries, today's problem, yesterday's problem, and he is drawing and dragging those so many problems on his own and putting into his head, and he is a man worried about. Solution to all these kind of psychosomatic disorders are if it is serious problem, they are taken care of. Medical people taken care of this with some medicines, which is also a very dangerous problem of dependency and addiction and side effects on medication. The best, easiest, and most effective way of overcoming these disorders are nothing but sports and yoga. Regular sports activity, physical activities increase heart rate and lungs function, which makes sufficient blood flow in the arteries and the veins, which also that blood reaches all the parts of the body, including the brain to the last toe. Blood supplies oxygen and glucose to the working muscle. Physical activities increases heart and lungs efficiency. Consequently, muscle becomes strong and strengthened, which leads to physical fitness, which is very important thing. Sometimes it is physical fitness is to ability to carry out his daily routine without undue fatigue. So it is called fitness, and he has to keep some reserve energy to meet out emergencies. And physical qualities like speed, strength, flexibility, explosive power, muscular, respiratory system becomes very strong. All these are very strong and they are supposed to be very efficient because to live a happy and stressless life. The result that results in efficient function of all the organs of the body, that is heart, lungs, muscles, kidney, brain, and glands, which helps for complete health of our daily life. The whole world has accepted physical activity and sports as the best way of stress management and recovery of energy. This affects a blissfulness of mind and body. He will be very, very happy when he is involved in physical activities without knowing its importance. Problems like diabetics, overweight, blood pressure, stroke, varicose veins, cramps, joint pains, migraine, stress and strain hardly appears in our body if we are physically active regularly. The above said diseases are seen in every house, and if there are five people, one of them is diabetic, one may be of overweight, one may be of suffering different physical ailment. So we are living in a very difficult life. Physical activity and sports brings mental peace and calmness and blissfulness again. Sports and games are powerful source of socialization. An important thing to take place in child's life is socialization. He has to learn how to live in the society, and he has to learn some social qualities and to practice them because he is going to be a respected member of the society. So source of this learning socialization may be from different sources, but sports is one of the most powerful socialization media and individualizations also because he is going to be socialized as well as he is to be individualized. In order to be a good individual, whatever traits are to be inculcated with him, that is called individualization. And he has to learn social skill because he is going to live in the society. He has to manage all these social people with his good behavior. So that is called social skills. Skills are not only in sports and games, they are socially important also. And good human relations. It is very important that the child should know how to live with the people to whom with he is living. Unless until he lives like that and follows the rules and regulation of the society never accepts him. He will be isolated. For that, he needs to be socialized, and sports is the best way to teach all these things with different opportunities and experiences. It is often said that medicine is curative science and physical activities, sports are physical activity and sports are preventive science. If we want to be safe, we have to prevent these hazards and diseases. We don't want to take medicines, but anyway, the choice is ours whether to go for activity or to depend upon machine. Now, we shall pass on to yogic science, role of yoga. Nowadays, role of yoga has been playing a very important role throughout the world. Yoga Day is being celebrated in even almost all the countries of the world, and they have accepted it as the way of life, and they have really realized the importance of yoga. That is the greatest gift of India to the whole world. Unfortunately, our Indians, most of the Indians are not following it, but the whole world is following and practicing it very seriously. And they are really transformed their life through yoga. And now they are teaching yoga, and there are several centers in worldwide. Now all countries are seriously practicing yoga for their well-being. Even sports people, seriously competitive sports, in competitive sports, for, for concentration and focusing is important for all the sports. All the sports, it may be any sports. Concentration is very important. So all the serious practitioner of sports and competitive sports participants are being trained yoga and practicing yoga for their concentration. Not only they are very interested in muscle building, coordination, and other things, but if they lost their concentration, everything will be lost. So they are very seriously getting, and coaches are also very taking very seriously this yoga for concentration and motivation and calmness of the mind to full utilize the body skills. Yoga includes asanas. Generally, we call asanas as yoga. It is not like that. Yoga includes asanas. There are number of lakhs of asanas who resembles some natural images. For example, Mayurasana, Halasana are the images of those things. And next is pranayama, a very important part of yoga and very vital importance of yoga is the pranayama is to provide oxygen sufficiently to the body and all the cells of the body, and always he is living being. Pranayama to control the breathing system of our life and mastery over pranayama. And dhyana, next is dhyana, which is again playing a very important role in bringing our mind and body calm, cool, and we are getting away from this earthly world and in a different world. Here we are with abundant peace of life and calmness of life and blissfulness of mind. Asanas are helpful for physical well-being, fitness, and blood circulation. When we stretch all the muscles while doing yoga, practicing yoga, all the blood veins are emptied when it is stretched, and when it is contracted, blood pumps into the arteries and sufficient blood flows through the body, through our arteries. And the veins, if they are strong, they bring back the polluted blood into the lower vena cava of our heart. So that is supposed to be well managed, and that is helped by sports. Pranayama provides sufficient oxygen to all parts of the body and enhance the vital capacity. Vital capacity is nothing but the amount of air expelled out after a deep inhalation. That volume is that that volume is called vital capacity. We need to have a good vital capacity and totally extend the longevity of life which everybody expects. Not only longevity, but quality of life is also equally important. How long we live is not important. How best we live is very important. In that concept, we should not forget sports and physical activities and yoga. Dhyana makes one amongst the nature. We have forgotten, most of us have forgotten that we are the part of this cosmic. Panchamahabhutagalu, we call it as in our Veda and Upanishad. We are, the world is made up of Panchamata Mahabhuta, and our body itself is a miniature of the world with all these Panchamahabhutas. So, we are a miniature of the world itself. That is why we should feel, we should involve ourselves into the cosmic or the whole world or the nature, in simple words, nature, and also provides mental calmness, peace, and help for overall personality development. With all these things, we are ultimately going to develop our personality. So these practices definitely add to our personality and make it a complete and all-round developed personality, which is needed for the society and to the nation and the world in large, by and large. Regular practice of kriyas, bandhas helps to clean our internal body. So far, there is no machine, there is no medicines which cleans our internal body. So far, all the toxins are accumulated in our body, especially in intestine and in stomach. Those things leads to several number of diseases. So it is important function of the man and the duty of the man to clean out his internal body. And there is no other things, there is no medicine, there is no machine, only kriyas and bandhas, which are the part of yoga, are to be practiced under a good guru, experienced guru. Otherwise, we suffer many of these things. Whatever today we are seeing, they are all born out of toxications in our body. So detoxification of our body is important, and that is very well done by regular practice of kriyas and bandhas. For example, nostrils, right nostrils and right nostril, left nostrils, they are cleaned through netra dhoti and jala dhoti. And drinking full of water into the stomach and vomiting is also one of the best way of sending all the toxins and other poisonous things from the stomach outside, vomiting everything. So that cleans our body, which is a very important organ of our body. The process of detoxification is very effectively done by these kriyas and bandhas. Yoga is well known as Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It means our mind is not constant. Even with any kind of effort, we cannot control our mind. That goes like a butterfly anywhere at any time, and we are unable to concentrate on one thing. So, yoga, practice of yoga brings back our concentration ability. Concentration ability again that adds to our personality, accumulation of knowledge, and all other activities of our life. Even in education, concentration, not only education, even in sports and all games, your concentration is very, 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 very important. All sportsmen are trained to control their minds, to get success into the games and sports, which means ability to control our mind, which is playing a very vital role to function smoothly, to get success easily. Next, in yoga, in a yoga practice, yoga nidra or deep relaxation or progressive relaxation. Uh, so I will try to explain these things in few words. Yoga Nidra, we know it. It is a part of our heritage of yoga. Deep relaxation and progressive relaxation means from supine laying position, we have to start relaxing from one side of the body. For example, small toe, big toe, the lower part of the foot, ankle, heel, calf muscle, and then knee, thighs, and hip, and lower back, and the lower part of the body, that is which close to the earth or your carpet, and the part of lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest, left and right, neck, and shoulders either side, and all other remaining parts like upper arm, elbow, and forearm, and big finger and other fingers, and go coming up to the neck and face, all the parts of the face, eyes, eyebrow, cheeks, chin, ear, all these. And next we have to pass on to the center of the head, top of the head, that is Brahmarandra. Brahmarandra, and either side of the Brahmarandra is our head and brain. So these, if go on relaxing and deep rest, it is one of the best medicine to come out of stress, strain, everything. Even this transforms our worst life into the best life. Wonderful life is expected from this relaxation. I appeal to all those who are listening to me to undergo this relaxation program under a guru. Even you can learn it through your internet and Google also. It is really a wonderful thing. I stress it again because there is no other machine which can massage you, which can bring stress out of your mind and body. So this is, and another thing, this is also changes our behavior. The stress and strain remove all the bad thinking and negative thinking from our body. It is my own experience. It is my own experience since 15 years. All negative thoughts, positive, converted into positive things, and the all worst worries, mental worries, are definitely goes out of the body uh, and changes our behavior, and we become a very gentle behaved people. Before, the whole world was aware of the importance of sports and physical activities. Thousands of years ago, Indian Veda and Upanishads, many of you may be knowing the important literature of yoga and Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita also, believed in statement that Sharira Madhyamam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. I hope you understood this. This is a Sanskrit word. I try to explain it. Before the when the world was totally sleeping on the issue of sports and games and transforming our life into the best life, our ancestors have written Vedas and Upanishads, which are the and Bhagavad Gita, basis of our life. Even in German, Japan, and other Western countries are in school of those countries. Veda is being taught, Upanishad is being taught, and Bhagavad Gita is being taught, and mantras are being uttered. Wonderful transformation of child, that those children are being visible, and it is a wonderful transformation. Everybody has seen it. Upanishad believed in statement I have called Sharira Madhyamam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. That means many of you may be knowing it. Sharira Madhyama means with the media of our body, Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. Any achievements of your life can be possible through sharira or body. In physical education, the media of learning is body only. Through the physical activities, we undergo physical activities. And physical education and other things give us ample opportunities to change ourselves and change the society and change the world in all. All there was serious practice of all these activities throughout the world, I should say. Now they are realizing the importance of our Sanatana Dharma, which was based on all these principles like Sharira Madhyama, Kalu Dharma Sadhanam, and yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. All these were seriously practiced, and now the world is opening its eyes to practice all those things. And now there, even scientists and doctors are practicing yoga, and not only Indian doctors, even foreign doctors are practicing yoga and yoga and other activities, parts of yoga, especially Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is one of the activity which cleans our brain. Very importantly, cleans our brain and throat. It is my experience. I am very sure. It is my experience that I am not suffering from my throat problems, throat soreness, and mind has become calm and cool. Why I am telling is I was a victim of this anxiety and different medical mental diseases like depressions. Now I am coming out. Definitely, I have come out of all these things because of my practice and belief in yoga, Upanishad, and it's listening to me always. So um, the people in those days were practicing sports like body in good olden days. Maybe they are also practicing in other countries also. But reference Indian perspective, we we remember those sports like bodybuilding. There was a bodybuilding competition in good olden days that was called body beautiful competition. Body beautiful competitions. Today's bodybuilding only, nothing but today's bodybuilding only. Wrestling was one of our best activity in the good olden days. Every boy from every house was participating in wrestling in the primitive ways in the Gardi Mane and Sakti Gaddi. We call it as Shakti Gaddi, Shakti Gaddi. Means it is a house for wrestling, what we call it as gymnasium today. And all the total village was so strong because every youth were very strong. They were able to do anything. They were able to achieve anything in their life. So they were farming and they were culturist in their nature, in their profession. But they were very strong, involving in hard and physical, hard life and very adventurous life they were living. They were with all these things, they were independent living. They were not depend upon others for a cup of tea or cup of water or anything whichever requires our life. They were independent because of their strength, their skills, and their cognitive development. Okay, all these things made him a perfect man. They in Western country they call it as whole man. That is all-round development of the man who is asset to the society, asset to the family, asset to the nation, and asset to the world in all. Okay, these are the advantages of yoga and other things. Whatever I have told so much so far. When we take this example of Greece and Western countries, regarding physical culture. Long before that, our epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata have references of war skills, tumbling, combatives, adventurous activities like chariot race, bow and arrow, swimming, wrestling, and war skills. There are several examples like Bhima. Hanuman was flying in the air like a bird. On what strength he was flying, which is not possible today. He is not only his physical strength, or coordination. It was his mental strength which makes him to fly in the sky like a bird. It is only mental strength, not physical strength. Please mind it again. And all other, we say that Duryodhana was in the water, escaping from the enemies. He was in the water for hours together, hours together. You know it, and it is in the Mahabharata story. How he was in the water for so many hours. It was his vital capacity and mental strength to escape in the water. And he was shivering, and he was wonderfully angry on that situation even when he was under the water. So Bhima was a wonderful bodybuilder. He was mentally strong as well as heavily physically strong. He was equal to 10 people of enemies. And once he enters into the war, there were nobody in front of him to face him. So strong he was. Even Duryodhana was escaping from him. There may be myths also sometimes. Mahabharata and in Ramayana, a ideal man we call, a perfect man we call. Physical education tries to make a complete man and shaping a good personality of the child, we call it as. There is a best example in Ramayana, that is Rama, who was a complete man. We have seen in episodes, but we have read in books also, who was a perfect man. So he was called a perfect man, Sampurna Manusha, we call it as Sampurna Manusha. So he was a skillful in war activities, and he was a very good family member, because even after Sita was stolen somewhere else, he did not get any other marriage, but he was waiting for Sita. So this was a horse rider also. Bow and arrows were part of their life. Nowadays they are called fencing, which is an international sports. And it is there are international sports also, competitions also. Swimming was their part of life, and wrestling and war skills are good, and good governance. Good governance means good.
अभी क्या करने वाले हो आगे बीकॉम करके आगे क्या करने वाले
Swimming, wrestling, and all other things, and good governance. What good governance? Governance means all the princes, what we call as Rajkumaras, were learning under Gurukula, and they go back with a full-fledged man and a good administrator. That is called good governance. For example, Rama Raja, we call it as. So a king is supposed to be
कॉमर्स बोला तो बहुत अच्छा है, उससे अच्छा बोला तो है
well versed in good governance also.
दिमाग में ऐसा
Many
नहीं है
people with obesity and overweight are complaint that they are overweight, have a complaint that they don't have time to involve in physical activities and sports. But the truth is that nature has given us
काम वही मिलना था, बीकॉम के भी वही काम मिला, आगे जाके
24 hours in a day. It is planned by nature. 24 hours can be divided into 3 parts. First 8 hours of that 24 hours is for our personal work. Personal work means maybe washing our clothes, bathing, and swimming, and
we
other recreational activities. It is called our personal work, and it is our own time. It is our own time. It is called unobligated time. It is called unobligated time. The second
ये भी
8 hours
चलता है
are duty for survival, which is obligatory.
बीकॉम में चलता है
We
सभी
have
चलता
seen that all the offices
करते हैं
and other employees
में
have
जाके
entrusted or
बनना है
deployed for 8 hours with 1 hour rest in between. So
ये
8 hours is scientifically planned, not
प्लान
all of a sudden.
तो
Police, for example, other offices employees, for example, teacher, for example, he should be in the duty for 8 hours. It is obligatory. That time it is for survival and
लेवल में
other
जाते
reliable people. And the third 8 hours, in the third 8 hours are for sleeping. Sleeping is part of our life, and sleeping is not useless thing, but it is very important thing to recover all the energy that have lost in the last day. So sleeping 8 hours with deep sleep or quality sleep is very important for leading good life and starting his day with fresh nature and sweet, fresh smile on his face. Uh, these people who are complaining about not available time, no time available for them, they have to listen to this carefully. These make plan your days into 3 parts, and accordingly you go for your own work for 8 hours. Work for 8 hours. If you are a student, you sit there in the class for 8 hours, and other 8 hours for sleeping. Then you make 1 hour out of your 8 hours and go for physical activity. It is my request, and I hope you will do it. You follow all these things. This natural rule is gives lot of time to at your disposal. If you get up at early morning, what we call it as Brahmi Murtam, you have lot of time ahead of you to go for any work like physical activity and other things, which are basis of life. Mind it, these activities are basis of life. Mind it again, not money, not luxury, but physical activities make you a complete man and a strong man. Amongst one of the first 8 hours shall be used for physical activity like walking, cycling, jogging, or play, or practicing of yoga for well-being. Mind it, you can have number of hours available with you if you go with the natural law of this time management. Okay, sleep early and wake up at the Brahmi Murta will set everything right in your life, and you have number of hours at your disposal. Uh, and for your benefits of listeners, I would add some few words as values of sports. Sports is not just a physical activity. Please mind it. Sports is not just a physical activity. It has wonderful values of different types. For example, physical values, strength, speed, neuromuscular coordination, eye-hand coordination, eye-leg coordination, fitness, endurance, and flexibility are physical sports values. They add to your life, add to your better life. Psychological values. Psychological values, uh, not psychological, it is physiological values. Physiological value means the efficiency of our internal organs. If you start work involving in sports and games, your lungs efficiency of functions of digestion, internal organs, excretory system, nervous system, and heart, lungs, they become very efficient and strong, which gives you extra life, bonus life, and there is no need of going to the doctor. Mind it, seriously. If you start these things, you never meet a doctor for treatment. In social values, sports has tremendous social values. To me, it is group living, social group and team cohesion, respect. Respect is one of the best thing we have followed in our societies. If you don't respect others, others will not respect you. So sports teach you how to respect elders and youngers equally. And friendship is one of the best social value. We know friendship, and we have seen so many friends in our life. In society, there are friends, and in sports, there are our friends. This friendship grown in sports is last long. I mean, permanent one. And cooperation and unity and solidarity are the values of sports again. This brings unity in the team, in the society, in the home, and in the nation, in the world, in by and large. Role of play, role playing also one of them. Role playing means we are being a member of the house, we have a role to play. Being the member of the society, we have a role to play. In the nation, we have a role to play. Maybe like a soldier, maybe a businessman, maybe a minister, maybe a social servant, government servant. So you have a role to play. That role playing is well learned in sports values, sports arena. Sports give you ample opportunities and experiences, learning, role play, and social unity and solidarity. Role play and social accountability is a very important part of our life. We are accountable for nation, we are accountable for family members, to my father, my mother, and my sisters, and we are accountable to the nation, and we are by and large we are accountable to the world itself, because we have a role to play, we have a responsibility. We have to complete these responsibilities with great effect. So we have to believe all these values. Then only your sports experience will help you. To our need of another value is accountability, responsibility, helping to others are who are deserving and who are in need of help. Vivekananda, Sri Vivekananda has told that they are only alive who are living for others. Yes, his statement is they are only alive who live for others. Rest of them are dead, then they are alive. Now we have to live for others also. We should not live for ourselves. Then we become greedy and selfish. That life is not appreciated by anybody else and our own self. We never like these selfish life. So sports teach you how to help others who are in need of your help, maybe physical or in other aspects. Skills need deserving helps contribution to the society and nation. It is wonderful contribution. Right. And economic values means when we are physically fit, we are able to do any work with our skills and strength and flexibility and speed endurance. If we are strong, we can earn more money. A small example is in the railway station. If the coolie is strong, he earns more money. If the coolie is weak, physically weak, he earns less money. If the carpenter, potter is weak, he earns less money because of his inability. So, sports give you economical independence that gives you work and avenues in different departments. So, if you this is the best benefit of sports also. Uh, Economics, self-reliability, skills, different professions, in skills in different professions. There are several professions, including medicine. Even a doctor needs physical fitness because he has to stand hours together for an operation. And for example, this pandemic, doctors are not going to their home. They are working 24 hours for others living. So everybody needs physical fitness that gives you a through that is earned by sports only. Next is psychological value. Psychological values like motivation, stress management, concentration, interest, sense of humor. Mind, please take it very seriously that we should not be very serious all the time in our life, in the profession, in the home, or in the society. We should be able to laugh, at least able to laugh others. That is best way. That is the best medicine for our life. Stress management is life. So a teacher supposed to be with sense of humor, and everybody should be. Even doctor should sense of humor. That is a psychological value. Uh, Spiritual values like broad-mindedness. We are supposed to be broad-minded. We should not be chicken-hearted, small-hearted. Don't live that life. Okay. Forgiveness. Forgive and forget things which have cheated you. Don't worry for them. Don't think the past. Go ahead. Be calm and cool. Involvement with nature. The modern life in the city and in cosmopolitan cities has spoiled the life of human being because they are living in concrete jungle. They don't see a bird's voice, chirping of birds, or flying birds, or trees, see some other water in waterfronts like waterfalls. They are living in a concrete jungle. Naturally, they undergo depression and anxiety. They don't live a quality life. So you need to be spiritually well-being, broad mind, forgiveness, calm, cool, involved with nature. You are one of the nature, and you start thinking of you are a nature today from today. Uh, okay, all these things have a wonderful values of sports, and I hope you understood some points with my little knowledge and my little experience, just 35 years old experience. And I thankful to you, dear Vice Chancellor sir and Principal sir, and all other organizing supporting staff and listeners, my students, and honestly, I give my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Krishna, my friend, philosopher, guide. Once he was my student. I am very proud of him. Thank you very much.
Hello, Guru.
Whether
Hello.
it is open for questions?
Any questions?
Even I have posted in, if they are having any question, they can ask
Please
in the chat box. They can type. I have given a message to them. Even they can ask in the chat box.
Any questions? Please put in the chat box. Any clarification? Please put a questions in the chat box. I think ಎರಡೂವರೆ. No, I think there is no questions, no clarification. I think please carry on and conclude there only.
Okay. Okay. That I will.
About this session, please.
So,
thank you very much, Doctor.
sir, one question I have raised here. Sir, one question. How can it's Mahantesh D has asked, how can we attract to the youth towards physical education or activity?
How to attract him?
Yes.
Sports activity. It's a very good question. I am very happy to answer this because since I belong to this profession. one thing, you have to create a atmosphere in your city or in your village or in your school where sports is continuously practicing. Those youths which are not interested in sports, I don't think anybody is not interested in sports. Sports are the best recreational activities. You motivate him through counseling. A teacher is a good counselor. You call him in the room and talk to him and give the importance of sports and show any pictures, live pictures, TV and other sports activities from where he can get some motivation. And he yourself, if you are a teacher, it's good. You can motivate him, and even you tell that all the sports activity who are achieving sports excellence, they can get avenues, means earning opportunities. They are getting appointed and recruited. Good sportsmen are recruited in different sports. That is also one of the motivation force. And they are giving prize money also from state and central government. And sports hostels are being opened for free education and free food also. So take them into your belief, confidence, and counsel them. Counseling is very important thing to change their mind. Okay.
I think, sir,
Yes.
another.
Answer for the question. And sir, another question was asked.
Yes.
It's from Rajesh Yadav of Jharkhand.
Hmm.
Rajesh is a healthy person.
Hmm.
If anyone does fast for a day in a week, what will be benefits? Please answer, sir. If anybody does fast for a day in a week, what will be its benefits?
Fasting is one of the best medicine. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. Fasting makes rest to all the different organs of the body get rest, but don't be totally empty stomached. You should take water and go for fasting. Limbu water, lemon water is best, or tender coconut. Don't be empty stomach. That may lead to some other diseases also, so indigestion also. So it is best to be get one day fasting in a week. Yoga also says fasting for one day, but intake of water should be regularly on that day, particularly on that day. So body should be cleaned out and detoxicated, and you practice it, and so many benefits like rest to all the organs of the body and glands. So intestine will get rest, digestive enzymes, liver and pancreas get rest, and your body will be cleaned. If it is continued regularly, if you are fasting one day in a week, it's very good practice. Very good practice. That brings charm into your body also.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Another question is asked from Ram Kumar Yam.
He asked, how to balance family and profession when there is huge work in profession? How to balance family and profession when there is huge work in profession?
See, huge work in the profession is obligatory. You cannot escape from that. It may be, it will not happen every day. Heavy duty or heavy engagement in the office never happens every day. That may be one day or another 2 days. So your family is also equally important. You cannot neglect it. So first your duty is to attend office and complete the work with taking excuse from the home. You talk to your wife, talk to your family, and say that you manage this time, and if this thing of interaction with the family makes you easy to attend your official work. Officially, if you have 24 hours your work, then I don't have any answer. But you think of a soldier in the war field who has no time at all to attend his family except that mobile in these things. He is there for 8 months in the Siachen, and he does not have any family. I mean, does not has his family. So you have to manage with your good relationship with home family members, and you have to manage these things. It is your intelligence and your skills to deal with these things.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
With
With this,
this, I
I
think
think
question
question has
session
been
has been completed.
completed.
From
From
last
last
1
1
hour,
hour,
you have
you have
engaged the
engaged the
session with
session
your
with your
valuable knowledge. You
you
have
have
addressed
addressed
the
the
session
session with
the
the man's
life
life before
civilization
civilization and after
civilization,
civilization, and
how
how
the
the
problem
problem has been occurred,
and
and
what
what was the
problem
problem
in
in
the
the
living
living standards of man. Then,
how
how
to
to
address
address
those
those
problems.
problems,
These
these
all
all
things
things
have
have
been
been
very
very
thoroughly
thoroughly
addressed by
addressed by
you.
you.
In this
In this
occasion,
occasion,
I would
I would
like
like
to
to
uh, express my
express my
heartfelt
heartfelt
thanks
thanks
to
to
Sri
Sri
M.
M.
Timapur sir,
sir,
um,
um,
who
who
is
is
having
having
8 years
8 years
of
of
experience
experience
in
in
teaching in physical
physical
education
education
field
field
for
for
engaging in
engaging
discussion and
and
delivering the
delivering the
valuable
valuable
knowledge.
knowledge.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much,
much,
sir.
sir.
At the
At the
same
same
time,
time,
I
I
would
would
like
like
to
to
thank
thank
Dr.
Dr.
Krishna
Krishna
Yadav,
Yadav,
who is
who is
my
my
teacher
teacher
and a
and a
very
very
good
good
friend,
friend,
who
who
has
has
given me
given me the
opportunity
opportunity
to
to
moderate
moderate
this
this
session.
session.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Krishna
Krishna
sir,
sir,
and
and
I
I
would
would
like
like
to
to
thank
thank
the
the
Vice
Vice
Chancellor
Chancellor
and
and
all
all
the
the
organizing
organizing
team
team
of
of
Horticulture
Horticulture
University
University
of
of
Bagalkot
Bagalkot and POPCOT
for
for
providing this
providing this
wonderful
wonderful
opportunity
opportunity
to
to
me.
me.
And
Over
Over
to
to
Krishna
Krishna
Yadav,
Yadav,
sir.
sir.
and attending the people attending this session.
Okay, thank you, Gurraj Puranik. And also, I heartily thank Sri M.G. Timapur for giving me a best address to the participants. All the questions were clarified by the teacher. And we will rejoin at 2:15 p.m. for the second session of the day. Uh, Please join on at 2:15 p.m. Thank you, one and all.
Hello.